I don't know. I don't know anything. I
Oh
was
yeah, it
born.
takes a
Yeah,
lot of humility to say I don't know. A lot of motherfuckers
yeah,
claim they know everything, right?
dude. I was born 98. Dude. Gods were fucking 5,000 years ago. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
I was just
It's
born.
irrelevant,
I was born
right?
25 years ago. What do you want me to fucking
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here, dude? Let me just watch some fucking Theo on and just fucking chill out, dude. Like, I don't give a shit.
Ah, I was finishing a Harry Potter movie, and I did. And now we're ready to roll, and we're recording. So, been
Like,
going
let
to
me wear
do
my
it.
headset.
Huh?
Let me wear my
Sure,
headset.
of course.
So, how was your trip?
Oh, it was lovely. It was spectacular.
I
You
would
know,
do anything to
mountains.
be there, dude. I was fucking lit. Out there with that fucking Patrick Bateman thingy, showing that ass to the bears and shit. Damn, man.
Yeah, it
Come
was
on.
legendary.
Did you know that? You do that on purpose? Or
No, no, absolutely not. I certainly took it as a compliment,
yeah.
but no, no, absolutely no. I have noticed a trend, if we may call it a trend, for
Mm-hmm.
guys to make this impression. So, what do you think that is?
What?
Where does this come from? Do you think this inclination for guys to make those faces, do you think it comes straight from the movie, or do you think, because it
It's
appears to be like a whole culture,
it's
right?
there was so Christian Bale came out and said it's not funny. Like nobody should be like Patrick Bateman. He's a fucking narcissist. You don't glorify his character. He is not
Right.
something that a person should become. He's basically a fucking narc with a
Yep.
mental
Yep.
condition. So yeah, people use it as it's like basically a sigma male concept.
Right.
Like
Right.
he's sigma, like you know, takes care of his body and shit. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's
I hope that those guys who impersonate him take the best of him, in terms of whatever those few good qualities that the character possessed.
yeah.
Yeah, but they completely tend to
It's
discard
like
the rest.
if he was real, I would respect it. Like Jordan Belfort, respect that
Yeah.
motherfucker. He's a real
Right.
G. That's cool. But Patrick Bateman,
Yeah, but
he's
nobody.
the movies can be his dream. You know what I mean? It could have been him dreaming the movie. You never
And
know.
most likely it was. I
Yeah,
think it's one of the theories, but I think he made everything
yeah,
up, right? He was imagining all that shit.
yeah. Yeah. Have you seen Mr. Robot?
Oh, no, no. That's one thing that
Watch that.
people been advising me to watch. Is it good?
Yo, shit. You're gonna like it
Really?
for sure. It's about fucking people up. Like basically, there's a speech by there's a scene in Mr. Robot. The therapist asks him, uh, "What makes you mad?" And then he gives a beautiful speech. You can just YouTube that video.
Yeah, I might have
You
seen
know what
it. I
makes me
think it was
mad?
viral.
Like F society, fuck society, basically. Mm.
What? Why do you think we tend to romanticize weirdos and maniacs and all that stuff?
Because that's something. Chicks dig criminals. They like criminal documentaries and shit. It's because I don't know. It's something that's you can now do in real life. If there were no laws, you could go outside kill people. The only reason you're not killing is because you'll be in jail or whatever. It's just laws. If there were no laws, it's gonna be chaos. Then it's just like you're not allowed to do it. That's it's just like it's all made up basically. It's all everything. I think everything is subjective. Everything is subjective. The whole world's made up basically. The only true thing is nature. That's why that's why I kind of relate to Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, uh, he says my goal is with nature. Like no, any amount of materialistic shit is not gonna replace that. And and for me, being born is my goal. My goal was birth. I made it. This is all extra shit. You born without you. I mean, you born with eyes, legs, and shit. People don't have that. Shit. You born normal. Like, what else do you want, dude? What the fuck do you want? Want a new
Yeah, I
house?
do find a lot of peace. I do find a lot of
Yeah.
consolation and peace in the thought that the best things are natural,
Yeah, the
and
best.
you've got to learn how to distinguish.
Exactly. It's they say you are a spiritual being experiencing the human world, not a human being experiencing the spiritual world. You are a spiritual being experiencing the human world. When you understand that, you'll know what it is. It's because when you die, it's you only take memories with you or good moments. You don't think of the money I have. When
True,
you're dying, like, dude,
absolutely true.
what's my bank account say? I'm gonna think about the good moments I had. No one can steal moments from me.
Impact
you
on other
can't you
people's
can't take
lives,
away
right?
my
Fun.
moments. You can steal my money, but you cannot take my moments. So basically, I just live for moments. Who gives a shit? Money is just relevant in the real world. That's all. In this world, money is, I should not be saying, but it's God. Money is God right now.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Money is
much.
God.
It's one of those newly made gods, right, that
It's
humanity's created
yeah,
for themselves.
it's people just do it so that they can put food on the table. They don't give a shit about the consequences. Okay, I'm gonna
See,
kill.
well, my
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I understand what you're saying, and it's beautiful, and I
Hmm.
entirely agree. But then I don't know. I've been talking to a lot of people about this thing that I've been having.
Hmm.
To me, I don't know. I'm not saying that I've read too many books and I've watched too many inspirational videos, and I consider myself highly spiritual. But when somebody says that, I totally, once again, I agree with you what you've been saying. But when somebody says that money isn't everything, there's like this tiny little voice in my head that goes, "Yeah, well, have you had a $1 million in cash,
Yeah,
right?"
correct.
So, what do you have those
See,
sort of
money
counter
is
arguments?
important because only reason I'm communicating with you, I bought a laptop with this money. I bought this headset with money. Having money is cool, but don't put money over people. That's it. Don't think you can buy somebody with money. Have money, buy stuff, share it with people, whatever. Like, yeah, money does matter. You need money. I'm not denying you don't need money. We would have never met. I wouldn't have a phone, no Reddit. This would never happen. So money can take you places. It's what you choose to do with money.
Sure.
That's the thing.
Do you believe in so-called escaping the matrix? This is one of those,
Escaping the
right, popular.
matrix. Uh, Escaping the matrix is basically, as per my understanding, is there is no escaping out of the real world. You can escape the matrix through your mind. You have to escape it inside your mind. There's no portal or there's not Matrix, the movie where you go somewhere. You can escape it. I can sit right now and I can say I've escaped the Matrix because are your goal? Then I ask people like, are your goals inside the Matrix? Like, is your goal to get a good house? Is your goal to be a certain position in in a company? Yeah, that's in the Matrix. So you cannot escape the Matrix. Your purpose defines what kind of things you want to escape. Why do you want to escape? What are you trying to escape from?
And where are you going to
Like,
go,
yeah.
first of all,
So
right?
it's like, dude, it's again like you seen Fight Club, right? It's it's just people buying stuff they don't need.
To impress people they don't like.
It's basically people just chase a dopamine rush. Anything that gives them a dopamine rush. A new car, a good car, a dopamine rush. Shit, I want that. A dopamine rush in the brain. That's your mind. That's your mind. That's not you. Your mind's different. You are different.
One of the things that I also particularly liked about Fight Club, and I don't know if it was articulated in the film, but in the book, there was certainly this phrase that said that we are now defined by our jobs. So
Exactly.
we could be Patrick Bateman's, we could be
Yeah.
Tyler Durden's, right? And we could do the most horrible, worst shit in the
Yeah.
world, but then we are managers, right?
Yeah.
And we are teachers and
Yeah.
we are doctors. So that's interesting. So have you ever done those dopamine detoxes that is quite trendy these days?
I don't think we have that shit here.
Yeah.
I don't think we have.
No, I mean, like, yeah, you guys don't do dopamine detoxes, right?
No, you just
No, I mean, like, depriving yourself of social media and
no,
not
no.
going
I'm in social
online. No,
media because it's I want to follow people I like.
right.
That's all. That's why I like social media. I want to see what they're doing. I follow their podcast. I'm also a DJ. I want to see what's happening around the world. Like I want to
Yeah.
I like humor, so I want to see Tier One clips.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the other one. Oh, by the way, yeah, right. Yeah. When you say clubs, for fracture for a second, I thought that he was about to come to India. Wouldn't it be wild if he came around in your
Or
country?
he's gonna
That
be
would be
if
great.
if he says what he says in America, he's gonna be arrested in India.
Oh,
That's for sure.
really?
Yeah, that's why Eminem.
Ah,
You cannot say that in India. Basically,
M's never come to India?
Eminem, no, you can't
Yeah.
curse on stage.
Really? Wow. Oh, yeah. Well, then Eminem is over, right? All of those rappers are pretty much done,
Exactly.
right? Huh.
So yeah, that's it. Depends on how you using it. I can use a gun to just threaten people, or you can shoot the gun. Guns are made to just threaten, not to shoot. See, like this could happen to you. I could shoot you. You can just threaten and then go away. You chose to stay. I'm sorry. I
Right.
mean, if you're fighting a war, you and the other country are doing the same thing. They are just ordered to shoot the opponent enemy, and then you can't say I'm not gonna kill him because he's gonna kill you anyway. When you join the army, you sign up for it. So it's again sometimes I think like what are you even fighting for? You know what I mean? What are you even fighting for? Like, that's the thing.
How did you stumble upon Stoicism initially? Because
Yeah,
that was originally going to be our
yeah,
topic for the conversation. And then, actually, as we communicated on IG, I discovered that we tend to have more in common than just
yeah,
Stoicism.
yeah,
And honestly,
yeah,
before this conversation started, I was like, man, I don't even want to talk about Stoicism because all the
yeah.
fun that we've talked
Yeah, we
about,
can
fuck
let
philosophy,
that
right?
be episode 2. Let that be episode 2.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
talk.
No, but I do want to
Okay,
talk about Stoicism.
yeah.
So, what was your
So
first exposure to
basically,
it?
I wasn't searching for stoicism. I was just trying to know how to be depressed or have anxiety and kill it in life. You know what I mean? How do I be who I am and get by my day? That's how I stumbled into it. It's like it basically says you can only control your emotions. Nothing outside can change your emotion. Only you are allowed to feel anything. It's like you cannot let external things make you react. Only you can make yourself react. I can be angry right now. I don't have to express it. I'm angry. Why do I have to express it? I'm angry right now. I don't have to show my
The
anger.
trick is to become
It,
observer, right?
just
And to be aware.
control your mind because your mind is not you. Mind is your mind is someone it's a whole another thing because why do you the voice in your head, you know whenever you make a decision, that always this voice, that's why you say intuition, because that's something your mind cannot comprehend. You say it's an intuition. It's something that your soul has, basically you a spiritual being has said. So yeah, so control the back to my stoicism. Yeah, controlling emotions, and also how do you uh, be satisfied with stuff. So basically, I kind of related to most of the Stoic principles. I felt like I've always felt my goal is with nature. The same thing Marcus in his book says. My goal is with nature. All the other shit is made materialistic. So basically, a quick bio on him. He was a Greek warrior. Basically, I think I'm not sure what his post was. He was a he was just I think a commander. So his book is his journal. So every day he woke up and wrote stuff. He wrote things like, "Today I have anxiety, but I chose to discard it because it is only in my perception, not in the real world." And there's more. There's more. Let me just read them out. I think he can say it better. There's like translations of him. So there are a lot of books about Stoicism with different authors. There's a Seneca also has his own thing.
Sure.
So, but I relate to Marcus a lot because it's something that I stumbled upon and I kind of related to it, and it also made me. Um, it's like it made me a better version of myself. Like it's like okay, I have all this shit. If it goes away, I'll be happy with it. It's not like gonna be sad. Like take away everything. I have me. That's all. He says you got to learn to be accustomed to doing nothing. You just have to sit and do nothing, and you have to get used to it. That's what one of his.
Do you think people absolutely essentially require a framework in which they need to work to operate, whether it's a philosophy or religion? Because
Yeah,
a lot of people distinguish, right? Or do you think it's possible to be happy
it's
without
again a
subscribing to any?
choice. It's again a choice. You can use religion to preach. You can weaponize religion. It's up to how you use religion. You can brainwash people. You can eat and, you know, tell them that go kill this guy. You'll be sent into whatever happened.
But is it possible, in your opinion, to be completely deprived of any frameworks like that
Yeah,
and
you can.
not follow any
Yeah,
philosophies and religions, right?
you don't have to. You don't have to.
And do you think that person can still be spiritual and
Yeah,
developed?
yeah.
Yeah.
He still can be. You can be. Dude, if I would be satisfied if I'd never stumbled. It's it's like when you are suffering is when you stumble. These things,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, I feel like those people who aren't into anything particular like that probably the
Yeah,
happiest.
yeah,
They're not searching
yeah,
for anything, right?
yeah,
Those happy,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It's like there's only suffering. There's We can only find suffering in the external world. There is no peace. There is only, like, you know. But it kind of teaches you a lot of things, because suffering is the only thing, you know, that is, you know, something that made me stronger, or something I can say. Or I can say failing a lot also uh, taught me a lot of stuff. It's like, don't seek anything outside. There's nothing. It's only suffering. You're not doing shit. It's, you know,
well, that
the,
sounds
yeah, yeah.
promising.
There's, what do you want? Like, what's like, you can't do shit. Basically, you are in a simulation, and people don't know it. You are basically being simulated. Your first form of simulation is school. When you join your school, that's when your simulation begins, because that people want employees.
So by simulation, you mean those human-made institutions,
Yeah,
rules,
exactly,
frames that we've built for
exactly.
ourselves, not something global specifically, right? Now, like I don't
No,
know,
no,
like
no.
the kind of shit
It's
Musk
not
talks
like a
about.
software or something. Like you can be simulated uh, subconsciously without even knowing, because you are getting minimum wage. You're getting food on the table.
Yeah.
It basically boils down to your you and your family. Don't give a shit about, like, is my family happy? Am I putting food on the table? I'll do anything for it. Is this gonna put food on my table? That's a you know, that's why that person should never become a president, because that's not what you think. He's going to think about how much money he has. Okay, how am I gonna be a president? The next campaign too. He's not thinking of he's not thinking of the country. I have, like, it's
Have you ever had problems telling the difference between what's natural to you and what's not?
what's natural is something that uh, natural in the sense, natural is just like when you do psychedelics. So why why do people prefer doing it in nature, or why did you decide to go on a vacation in the mountains? Why do you do that? Because you are nature. You like
Yeah, yeah.
nature. Why do you go
You
to
want to return,
you?
right?
That's the getaway. Mountains. Why do you go to the mountains? It feels amazing. That's your vacation. So
It feels correct.
it
It
feels
feels
right.
right.
It's a feeling, basically. It's like, yeah, this was there forever. This was there for thousands of years.
And I'm nobody and nothing compared to those things, right? They've
You
been
are
there.
nobody. We are insignificant. There are people. You can't even see the Earth in the. If you see the galaxy, you can't even see the Earth. You're just a fucking nobody on a fucking rock floating through space, going nowhere. Piece of shit. You're gonna be here for like 80 years. Doesn't matter. People die every day. People have been dying every day. It doesn't matter.
Has Ryan Holiday's products, books helped you in your on your
Uh,
journey?
I've seen his. I've seen his post, the Daily Stoic, right? He has this. I think Rand Holiday has a book on Daily Stoic. So, but it's like people say you have to read the books. I'm like, no, I don't have to.
Mm.
I actually ordered the book. It's coming. It's coming May 5th.
Yeah. Which
Because
one?
I didn't have meditations.
Hmm.
I've been reading meditations online, the quotes, but I ordered the
Oh,
book.
it's one of probably the best books to
Yeah.
possess at home, surely. And
So
I'm saying it. I don't
I
have it
just I
myself,
just have
unfortunately.
like what do you say? It's just notes in my there's a notes called Stoic
Right.
Mindset, and I save all my favorite quotes. It's like it's basically living a virtuous life. Like Stoicism, how do you maximize positivity and diminish negative emotions, basically. So it's like he says, virtue is enough. You don't need other people conforming to your will. You don't need to change the current situation in order to be still. A rational man is satisfied with acting the way he is ought to act. He doesn't need anything external to gatekeep his feelings of accomplishment. And this one thing I like. Just wait, the sound is gone. Yeah. Everything changes with time. Nothing lasts forever. It's simple and an intuitive lesson to grasp, where everyone's reading this already know it's true. You know what I mean? And then there's one more. Just there's one about nature. It's a lot of. It's also like Stoicism also helps you. If you see the subreddit of Stoicism, people ask, okay, I'm going through a breakup. What's the Stoic approach to this? Like, how do I deal with? Because Stoicism is something that you can apply in real life. You know, you can apply it. How do I? How do you combat this failure? What's the Stoic approach to this? I how do you? Okay, I feel jealous. I know this is wrong. How do I? What's the Stoic approach to jealousy?
It's nice that people have found this nook, this comfortable place, and it's been helping. But you know what? As you said about how people ask these questions, I have noticed it. In fact, well, so a little out of context.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a member of a Fight Club subreddit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I mean, it's like I nearly never go there,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just curious to see different people's take on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Some motherfuckers ask on that subreddit. Sometimes there would be this dude, and he would go, "Yo, I've just had a diarrhea. How would Tyler Darden react in my place?" And I don't mean to be, disrespectful towards
Yeah.
Stoics. I
Yeah.
probably, I don't know if I should consider myself one. Yeah, but don't you think sometimes that people fall too strictly into those rules, and sometimes you need to allow yourself experience,
See,
right?
it's like he didn't find it offensive when he said it. I found it
Yeah,
offensive. He was
yeah,
making a joke. I choose to make it offensive. It's
right,
against
right.
stoicism. You chose to be offended. Why do you even have to react to it? It's not even like why do you have to lose your sanity to some guy online? You chose to react. He did his shit. He probably is moving on with the day. You chose to be offended. So I wouldn't. That's a stoic approach to it. There's an approach to everything.
Do you think we always choose how to react, or sometimes there are certain things like
Like
it touches upon free will?
this
Question.
this quote by Andrew Tate. He said, "If men acted based on their emotions, they would be killing people. That's how murderers are made. They acted based on their emotions. That's how serial killers are made. If you act on your emotions, based on emotion, you're gonna kill. You can do this. You can do. You gotta know when to use certain things. Sometimes it's like it's okay to lie sometimes just to handle the situation at that moment. It's not you can go and confront them. Basically, it's like you can be a like you can be a monster, but if you become the monster and you get back, you have to be a monster to you have.
Well, you've got to be capable of
Yeah,
being a
you
monster,
have
right?
like if you wanna do something different, you have to lose your sanity. Like you have to be insane, you know. And then it's like again, it's like stoicism is basically you are analyzing situations logically. Okay, something happened. Okay, now what are the consequences to this? What's the logical explanation to this? You think of the consequences, you think of the relationship with the person, you put yourself out in the situation, like how it's more of like logical explanation, you know be logical. You probably be mad. You'd say fuck you and bullshit, and then that's it. You're done. You no more friends. So it's like like think about it. Like don't react. Sit, analyze, speak.
So I was going to ask you quite an elaborate question. I've been thinking how to exactly form it because I've been meaning to ask this question anybody, to be honest, because it's a deeply, in my opinion, philosophical question, and I'd like to find some kind of a compromise in my mind. And now the reason why I'm coming up with this question is because you mentioned Andrew Tate, and that's certainly an interesting figure, to say
Yeah,
the least, on the internet,
yeah,
right? The guy has shaken the lives of a
yeah,
lot of people,
yeah,
undeniably, right? Whether for the better or for the worse.
yeah.
So there will be two questions. Now, do you sometimes, I'll be honest, I'll be direct, do you sometimes feel like shit for not owning Bugattis? And maybe you do own one. Correct me if you have
I'm not into
Bugattis, right?
cars. I'm not a car guy. I
Okay.
just want to go
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
pl- place A to B. Like I need a decent
Yeah.
car. I
Yeah.
the only thing I would want is a good music system because I like
Yeah.
music. I want a decent car, automatic, decent
Yeah.
car.
Right.
I'm happy
Yeah.
with it. I'm not a
Yeah.
car guy.
Yeah.
It's all up to you.
So so instead of the car example, let's pick up anything else, a mansion, right? Or, I don't know, house with a swimming pool or anything like that, one of those. Do you feel sometimes shitty for not being in top one of people? And if you don't, how did you
Because
find a
I
peace?
already know I'm insignificant. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to. What do you mean top one of people? It's like that's why like just be better than how you were yesterday. Don't try to be better than
Yeah.
somebody else because there's always
Yeah.
somebody else. You
Right.
know,
Right.
just be better than how you are. You gotta know what your capabilities are. You know, if you should
Yeah.
know if you can do it. People don't know their capabilities and they fail and they blame themselves. Like, dude, yeah, I'm sorry, your IQ is low. It's a fact.
Right.
People are not the same. I'm sorry, you're not made for it. Like I can't climb the Mount Everest right now. I'm not made for it, dude. I don't have the training. I can't.
So, but my counter argument to that, what you're saying, would be there's immediately this sneaky little ass fucking voice in my brain that I wish I could read myself off that says, "Oh yeah, well you can't climb Mount Everest. Have you tried though? Right? Do you have anything like that?"
It's like what? Why am I seeking to climb the Mount Everest? Like why? It's like okay, it's something you want. If you really wanted to climb the Mount Everest, you'd never mention it. You would just fucking go and climb it. Why do you want to say you want
So
to?
you try to look deeper and
Yeah,
look into your reasoning
yeah.
behind any
The
intention,
only
right?
reason you're saying it because even you're not sure because like that's about the thing about like it's a pretty deep topic about suicide. If somebody says I want to kill myself, he is asking for help. People who want to kill themselves, they just kill
They
themselves.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
They're asking
And I
for
think that
help.
applies to everything, right?
Yeah. So that's the concept behind that. It's like what are you seeking from it? Like why what are you seeking from that? Like are you missing something or do you just want to like be adventurous and stuff? Yeah, cool. Go
Or
for
are
it.
you trying to simply prove something to yourself, to
Yeah,
your
are you
parents, to
like
your society?
yeah. It's like people are not transparent anymore. So I'm a very transparent guy. If you're doing something wrong, I'll just address it right there. Fuck you, I don't like this shit. I'm not gonna go behind his back, talk to his friend. That's again drama. Like if you feel a certain way, just let me know on the spot. Like, I like that. Just be
Right.
straightforward, don't don't go behind my back and tell people I didn't like this. Dude, just fucking say it right then. If he said it to me, it would have been solved in that moment itself. Now it's a whole fucking thing. It's friends involved and shit. It's like people are not transparent anymore. That's the problem. Like I seek like that's why I have like a few friends that are transparent. Just be real. Like be real, man. Like come on. Like I don't give a shit. Like I don't want to talk about how many followers you have. Like how are you doing?
Oh, and the internet greatly contributes
like
to this
like
lack of
yeah, I don't give a
transparency.
shit. Like how are you doing, man? Like how can I help you? Like like how are you basically? I want to talk about how do you feel about things. I don't give a shit what your job is. It doesn't
Right,
matter.
right, 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 right.
Like how do you like talk about you, don't talk about what you're doing. Like I want to know you. I want to know your family. I want to your presence. Like I can be in a prison right now, and this is be a good time. It's like
Sure.
if you're having a shitty day, something better than a shitty day is having a shitty day with a friend. We're both fucked. We have
Right,
each
right,
other.
right, right.
We're both fucked.
And at the end of the day, the experiences with other people is first and foremost what really
Yeah.
matters, truly.
It's like, yeah. So that's what people, man, like that's why I like helping people. Like, something that I see. You know what I mean? I want to help something that I see, and I get an instant reaction from it. I'm not gonna. I'm not a religious person, to be honest. It's like I don't know. I don't know anything. I was
Oh,
born.
yeah, it takes a lot of humility to say, I don't know. A lot of
Yeah,
motherfuckers claim they know everything, right?
dude. I was born 98. Dude. Gods were fucking 5,000 years ago. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
I was just born.
It's
I was
irrelevant,
born 25
right?
years ago. What do you want me to fucking get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here, dude? Let me just watch some fucking Tier 1 and just fucking chill out, dude. Like, I don't give a shit. It's not gonna help me in real life. It's what can I apply? Nothing. I can't apply shit. They fucking moved oceans and mountains. You're fucking human. You can't do shit. You die once your heart stops beating. They could like they had superpowers. Like you're not God. Just like chill with your buddy, man. Like he needs help.
Yeah.
Help some like probably if you help somebody, he will thank God for you.
Right, right, right.
Basically, God, what does most of the religions say? Help people. I'm already doing that in normal life. So if it's like I'm agnostic, if one day God shows up, like what's up? I'm not saying I'm against. I'm not saying I'm for too. It's like I don't want to be involved in it.
But does the fear of hell sometimes cross your mind? Do you for a second stop and think, shit, wait a
The
minute, but if
worst
hell
hell,
is real?
the worst hell is between these two. The worst hell is your brain. If
So you do not accept that the real supposition
it
of
doesn't
hell, like the
matter,
way.
even if I think about it now, I'm gonna know anyway after I die. What's gonna happen? I'm gonna know. Everyone's gonna know about it. Why are you talking about it? Everyone is going to know about it. What's the point of talking about it? Just be in the present. Like, think of like the moment. They don't live in the moment. That's the thing. You suffer more in your
More
mind.
in imagination, yeah, than in
Overthinking.
reality.
That's why you gotta disregard the past. Just live in the moment. Like what am I gonna do today now? Okay, I'm fucked. Okay, I lost a job now. Okay, I better start applying for new jobs. I'm not and I can't just be sitting around and be like, shit, I suck. That's not gonna help me. I'm gonna find new jobs, I'm gonna learn new skill. That'll help me get a job. I'm not gonna
Do you integrate meditation in this stoic obsession of yours? Because I would
no,
imagine
I don't
meditation
meditate.
plays.
I don't
You
meditate.
don't. Have you ever?
No,
Have
I've
you
never
tried?
never meditated.
Really interesting.
No.
Would you potentially be interested in that?
Uh I don't think so.
Really?
No, I don't want to be like what do you want to what is again what are you trying to achieve from meditation? It's like are you trying to uh, attain spirituality, or are you trying to reach God? Okay, you reach God, then what's going to happen? You talk to, okay, cool, talk to him. Okay, but
Well,
I
anybody who claims
yeah,
to
I
have
got
talked to God
doesn't matter.
raises questions.
I gotta go work tomorrow. I gotta yeah, yeah, I have
Yeah, you
work.
just talk to God. Yeah,
I'm too busy. I
yeah,
got
yeah.
work.
I gotta wake
I
up
gotta
at
pay the
8
bills,
a.m., right?
dog. Dude, this
You know what?
yeah.
That's actually interesting because I've been listening to this podcast with James Folkson. He's this documentary maker. He's about UFOs, and I talked to actually a contremate of yours on the latest episode of my podcast. And I said, you know what? If fucking aliens landed tomorrow, everybody would pay attention for maybe 1 or 2 days. It would make big
Yeah.
titles, big headlines. Then next thing we would do would be
It's
off to our
some of the
jobs.
conspiracies are just fake because when you say aliens, where do you feel safe? You think the government's going to help you, right? So that's why they put the threat of aliens, into you, so that you stick to the government more. It's like here, we are gonna make you safe. You know what I mean? That's the way of controlling people. Even if aliens were there, like alien, I think aliens are already here. There's this conspiracy wherein aliens can be my
If it gets truly confirmed, like big time,
yeah.
real shit, do you think that will significantly impact people generally, our trajectory?
It's people are just gonna like when there's a riot. What do people do? They start robbing shops, stores. People are gonna just rob stuff, dude. I need a TV, dog. Let's talk it. Like,
Yeah. Oh, did
then
you hear that aliens landed
they're not
yesterday? Let me
cops. They're
rob you.
not cops, dude. Like, let's rob shit. And, I don't know, fucking like do some like go to Mexico and get all the coke or some shit. Like, dog, we're gonna die, dog. Let's die. Hi, motherfucker. You're gonna do what you wanna do. You don't give a shit about the government.
Whether aliens here or not, right? That should
Aliens
know.
can also be microscopic. Even you can be aliens. Humans can be aliens because every organism blends in with the ecosystem. Perfectly blends in. Only humans have to build houses and shit. You see an insect, it blends in perfectly. It has this house within nature. Only humans have to build houses, buildings. So we are the aliens because we don't find what do you say, or maybe we're just intelligent, you can say. But you can also, yeah, I kind of wonder, like, why do we have to, like, we were within nature, but then there's this stoned ape theory. Some ape ate mushrooms and their consciousness expanded. That's how they start building shit. And also there's another, basically gods are just aliens. They came down to earth, taught people
Yeah.
the ways, and left. They walked. They were from different planets. They walked the earth. They spread knowledge and they went back. That's how I feel, because you see most.
As an experiment in a way, you think?
It's like they came to earth and it's like, oh shit, this sucks. I'm going to fuck these people.
Yeah.
I help them and they're fighting again among each other. Fuck this
You know
guy.
what's a real fun theory that I've been thinking about? Is that it all could be, well, I mentioned that on the previous episode, it all could be some kind of galactic
Exactly.
tourism that is happening, and they're just
Yeah, it's
to
just
just
God.
coming to check on
Yeah,
us.
God is just another citizen of another planet. Like Superman is a normal guy in the planet where he's from. He's normal, right? From where he's from. So that can be, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Right, sure.
For
Perspective.
yeah, people are like him back in his world. We call it alien because it's out of the is something that you haven't experienced, out of this world. Alien, like it's alien. It's something that you've never seen. Let's like, yeah. Then again, I come to pyramids. Like, I'm obsessed over pyramids. Like,
Yeah.
there is no way humans could build the pyramids because
So what is the conventional explanation that we've got
there are
now?
a lot
Like,
of,
how is it explained?
yeah, there are a lot of conspiracies. So let me start with the latest one. I mean, not the latest one, the most talked about in the Joe Rogan
Yeah,
podcast.
right, right.
It's like, dude, there are like 2.3 million stones, okay, each weighing tons, okay, a lot of tons. That is taken from a quarry that is 500 miles away. It would take 600 years for people to build that. 600 years to build a pyramid. That is not possible because even they say it's a tomb, right? I don't. It's not a tomb actually. It's not a tomb for the pharaoh. What do you mean? Like, we decided to build 600 years ago for the pharaoh? Like, we just put him in. That's all. We put him in the
Did
tomb.
those guys prefer to be buried with their cats? Is that Egyptian tradition to be buried with a cat? Was it pharaohs that did it?
Cats.
Yeah, some Egyptians
Yes,
motherfuckers
the
decided to
Sphinx
be
cat.
buried with cats.
The Sphinx
That's
cat.
crazy. Imagine if you die and they discover you a couple of hundred of years later with a cat.
Because a
Yeah.
cat, if you die, a cat will eat you.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
If I die, my cat will eat
Yes,
me?
it'll eat you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it'll eat you. That's
Yeah, my puss is made, to be honest. Yeah, those sleek
They're
animals.
born
Yeah.
to hunt, and
Well, if they get hungry, probably, right? So if I
they're
die in a locked room with a cat and that bitch goes hungry, it will definitely eat my body,
it's
right?
trying to like it's trying gonna bite your ass off.
Shit.
Shit,
There you
boy,
go.
it's gonna be like, damn, that ass is big.
Wow. Do you think it will do it because of the hunger or because it will be just bored?
Hungry,
Do you
probably.
think cats can just be kind of dickheads to people? Yeah, they certainly
I
can
like
be,
cats.
right?
I like cats.
Yeah, me too. I love
I
them.
used to have a
Sure.
cat, but I got allergic, so I had to give it away.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I
shit,
know
that's a
I was
bummer.
allergic, but then I thought I would get resistant to it, but it kind of did not happen.
So you can't be around a cat, right?
I can be like, I can go and pet a cat. I can't keep a cat in my house. Like, I
Yeah.
can,
Wow.
yes.
And what happens if there's a cat? Like, what reaction do you get?
Itchy. I get rashes and stuff.
Really? Yeah.
So I'll just
Shit.
like, so for now it's like, let's go to, like, I want to start a business wherein you can come and pet, you can pet pets, and you come here, pet a dog, a cat. You don't have to
Yeah,
buy.
just
You
to
don't want
kind of
to,
get
yeah,
relieved.
yeah. Just come and pet them. You don't want to
Huh.
take the responsibility. Come over here,
Uh,
pet your dog. If you have a male dog, we got female hooker bitches. Come fuck bitches. Yeah, we got
okay.
we got bitches too.
Yeah.
Your dog's humping the pillow. Get him
Oh,
here.
hell yeah.
You're never gonna hump the
Oh,
pillow again.
okay.
Get that
Yeah, that's a
motherfucker.
promising business.
Let him
Sure.
fucking fuck these bitches. I'm like,
Damn.
yeah, it's good business, dog. Yeah.
So back to Egyptian. So that's a conspiracy
And
theory.
yeah, they say there's also a conspiracy that there's something called moving things with sound. Have you seen?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard about that shit.
Have you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
seen?
That's
See,
latest.
everything has a frequency. If I match a
Mm-hmm.
frequency of
Mm-hmm.
an atom, I can move it. You've seen how they change the water shapes through.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
can do that
Yeah.
to objects. You just have to match the frequency of the
So
object.
that's got to be the source of super loud sound,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So
Man, where did they have those huge fucking stereos back in the days
no,
in
no,
Egypt?
it's not sound. They just match the frequency. Basically, something. It's like something that physics can. It's like
Oh,
we
okay.
don't like we don't. There are a lot of things we don't know. You know,
Yeah, sure.
we live in the three-dimension world. There's a lot of other dimensions which you can reach through
Yeah,
psychedelics, DMT. What
yeah,
happens when you take
yeah.
psychedelics? Your frequency sinks in with the universe. It's like you reach high consciousness. You just sink. You know what I mean? You're
So listen, so do you believe that after consuming those psychedelics, do you think, because that's also a very relative question, I want to talk to people who've had experience. So do you think your brain taps into something that's already here, but just close to us otherwise?
again.
And we are
Yeah.
capable of going there only after we've taken it? Or do you think it's all just a weird glitch of your
No,
brain?
it's again
No?
huge. But people prefer to trip in nature. Why? You prefer a nature trip than a city trip, right? Why?
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
It's because it's like not everyone is made for acid. It's like people react to different ways, because the one thing about acid is your ego dies. When you resist it, you get a bad trip. You are not letting go of your, like, you are okay. In this real world, I am Hardik. I work for this company. That's not who I am. This is my network, this is my religion, this is my
This is
gender.
a role that your
Yeah,
character
yeah,
plays.
that's not me. When people realize that, they don't take it well. Like, shit, like, what do I do now? Like, the whole perception of myself was false. Like, this is,
So you've experienced this aforementioned ego
yeah,
death,
it's like
right?
actually an ego death. I wrote something about ego death when I was. It's like your ego is your sense of individual identity that keeps you separate from everyone else. So when we transcend our ego, we ultimately realize we are one. With that comes a lot of emotions and realizations
Yeah,
about
so
what
the
you thought.
realization that you are not as important as you
Yeah,
thought,
you
right?
are the same, and the name and body you are given is not you. It's like it's like you are everything, and when we have those experiences of our material selves, of self momentary non-existent or not important, you are not a person or a persona. You just act. You're just an act you play as a piece of the whole self-realization, because some people, like, they can't take that they want to be different. And what psychedelics does is, no, you are all the same. You know, you and me are the same. We breathe. We are.
See, to somebody who has never done psychedelics, these things which you are saying, with which I completely agree, they sound unbelievably trivial and obvious and right there on the surface, right? But after you've experienced that, it's totally different.
Yeah. So I
Totally
I don't
different.
recommend people doing acid. So
Yeah.
it's like, dude, like it's hard to explain.
Well, that's not considered natural, though, right? That's not mushrooms, right?
Uh,
Acid is human made.
yeah. But mushrooms are kind of, like, acid is just synthetic. It's more long lasting, a more powerful dose. Mushrooms are mellow. If it's from the earth, come on, it's from the earth. What do you like?
Right, 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 right.
It's
Yeah, well, I would not be too trusting to anything that comes from the earth because some plants can probably kill you
Yeah, but
easy, right?
if you like somebody. like think of the person who tried that for us and died.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
sure.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine if there's a report, yo, this dude named Joshua took 5 grams of shrooms and
Yeah,
died.
dude,
What is this
that's the
loser?
whole point about drugs. They were all therapy drugs. Somebody took 4 Xanaxes. I'm like, shit, dog, this feels good.
Have you ever thought about, now, what was the most heroic dosage of shrooms you've ever done?
I do it in dozens. I do like two dozen. Like,
Yeah, which is, but do you know exactly how many
no,
grams it
I
was?
haven't
No,
weighed it,
yeah.
but
Have you thought about fucking tripling that latest dosage that you had? Has this idea lurking in your mind?
it's like, mm, it's gonna be the same thing, but just more intense. You know, it's not.
I
It's like,
wonder how much more intense, though.
I mean, yeah, that just might as well do a DMT.
Yeah,
Just
right, right,
blast
right,
off.
right.
If you want to be intense, do DMT.
I feel like after mushrooms, after certain dosages, you're just gonna puke, probably throw up, and that's it,
Yeah,
right?
your body is gonna reject
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. No matter the method which you use, because some people fucking make tea, some people eat it
Yeah,
raw.
yeah. Some
Like,
people
I
put
just
them
pop
in.
them bastards like
Yeah,
that. I don't make
always
no fucking sandwiches.
like when somebody says mushrooms, like the pizza mushrooms or the mushroom mushrooms.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
Huh. But for sure, the thought of increasing the dosage will always be there, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you will always be curious as of to what will happen
yeah,
if you
yeah.
go harder.
It's how you take it. So I can do psychedelics and move on with my normal life. Some people don't want to come back. You know what I mean? They don't want to.
Do you think those minor, tiny, barely noticeable apprehensions of some people that, oh, you might go schizophrenic, do you think
Yeah, yeah,
it's more,
yeah. You might get if you have schizo in your family running,
yeah, yeah,
you
like
can
if
get
you have
schizo.
some preponderance?
Yeah, some people, a lot of people like go on a bad trip, jump off balconies, some bullshit, run naked in the street, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Well, they've discovered their true
yeah.
self, right?
That's what
They
happens.
one with
That's what
nature.
happens when you take a higher dose. You're
So,
running.
because when you take some crazy dosage of some transformative drug like that, you not only do you want to strip all
Yeah,
societal
it's
roles,
like
but you also want to strip the real
it's like
clothes.
anything you abuse is bad.
Sure, for sure, yeah.
You gotta
But you
respect.
know what? I think also, this quote, I don't know who was that, Oscar Wilde probably, who said it. He said, everything in moderation includes in moderation. So that means that sometimes you need to go a little bit overboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, right?
Exactly. You have to go insane, you know. You have to become it. What you're, seeking. You have to become it. You can only, achieve that. You have to go insane about it. Only then you can you can change the world, or you can, it's like Andrew Tate. Like he didn't have to do all this. He was a millionaire. He could be chilling right now. He didn't have to go to jail. But that's not his purpose. Oh, sure.
So what the fuck happened with him being in jail, you think?
So basically, what
Some
happened
wrong?
was there was some allegations against him.
Yeah.
There was no evidence basically.
Yeah.
Uh, they just found his location and just put him in jail.
Was it due to those pizza boxes? Was it really what happened?
That's the Matrix doing his job, and
Yeah, shit.
he already predicted it, and he was like, they put him in jail, and they were trying to find evidence against him. They couldn't find, so they had to release him. They were making a case against him, which
Is he on home detention now?
yeah, he's on home arrest, but
Yeah.
he's proved his point. He's proving his point by him being in when he was in jail. I think he's also stoic because when he's in jail, he's like, okay, I'm in jail. I'm gonna do 500 push-ups every day.
Oh yeah, he came out of
Yeah,
jail more jacked than before,
he's like,
right?
I spoke to people, and I spoke to a murderer. No, sorry, not a murderer. I spoke to a guy who was falsely accused. My dog. Just gotta send the dog out.
Sure.
Damn, the dog is psyching out. My friend's
Yeah.
Rottweiler. He's like, who
What
are
dog is that?
Rottweiler?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
he's like,
Shit,
damn,
that's a dangerous breed.
dude, this guy is talking a lot. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like dogs,
Wow.
like like sometimes ignorance is bliss. a dog,
For sure.
like you, like
Bro,
your.
I've always been afraid of those dogs, to be honest. Like, I respect them for how dangerous and menacing they look. Bro, I got a story from childhood when, right before my eyes, a Rottweiler ate a little kitten.
Oh,
That
okay.
was wild. I'm telling you, that was fucking crazy. And you know, one dude, I know it's gonna sound like one of those Theo Van stories, but that's completely true. A friend of mine, he was also a neighbor of mine, and that shit was happening in a river. So next to where I live, there's like a river. That whole fucking two animals were fighting for life, and my friend, he jumped in the water. He wanted to save the kitten. Can you imagine that? That
Yeah.
looked wild,
Theon's
but
got
it
wild
wasn't
stories.
successful.
He's got wild stories.
That's for sure.
He always has a
What?
guy. Like when he starts, I had this guy. I,
Yeah, I used to know this guy. We had this guy called Timothy,
yeah,
right? And he didn't
yeah.
have legs and
I
arms,
mean,
and he had only
yeah,
one tooth, and he would
yeah,
fight everybody.
yeah, exactly. It's his stories are legendary, man. He always has some weird ass stories. Back in my day, like
Yeah,
Tito's used to knock the doors and be like, "Yeah, I'm your neighbor, be aware." Some shit.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
To be honest, in all respects, I truly believe that Vaughn is probably the one and only truly funny
yeah,
comedian. Or follow those
yeah, yeah,
motherfuckers,
yeah.
and there are so many of them these days. You know, it's all because of Rogan.
It's
Rogan
like,
has
yeah,
spewed all these fucking funny comedians, and they think they're important and funny.
yeah. The thing about comedy is you gotta be. It's not about like anyone can make a joke, but it's his life making talking about your life in a funny way, basically.
And it's okay if
Like
he makes
there
up
is no
stories. I
Theo.
forgive
There's
them.
only one Theo on. You cannot copy him because
So, what do you think makes him? Because a lot of comedians make up a lot of bullshit stories. All of them
yeah,
do
yeah,
it,
yeah.
right? What is it about Vaughn particularly that
It's
makes
just
him original?
it's just him being white trash. I can say
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's like I was. Uh, he basically stayed with everybody. The the whites and blacks staying together. It didn't matter. They were just poor together basically.
Right.
So it didn't
Yeah.
matter. So like they were when it's like I tell you, like he didn't want to be in the stereotype anymore. He wanted to move out because even he had what do you say? Even he felt bad about himself. He's like, I'm gonna like you think I'm a redneck? You think I'm white trash? I'm gonna fucking do this shit. You know what I mean? It's like, but yeah, his stories, yeah, he stories is he's then made it a business like his comedy shit.
So,
Yeah.
do you really think he beat the Down syndrome in the
Oh, he beat
childhood, or
it.
was it?
Oh yeah, he's got
You
that
think
Down
he
syndrome
had it?
ass. He's got a. He's got
Sometimes
that.
when I listen to him, I think that he hasn't quite beat it. There's still a little bit
Yeah,
of that, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes he doesn't know what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I don't even know what I'm
Man, what
saying.
was that joke? What was that joke? Uh, Bro, I think, I've been on a rabbit hole watching all kinds of embarrassing videos about Brandon Chop. You know, this
Oh, dude.
motherfucker,
Yeah,
right?
I watched his part.
Man,
I watched his
yeah.
part. Yeah.
And so people, for some reason, well, for plenty of reason, but Brandon is not respected comedian the way I see it,
Yeah,
right,
they're just
in the
jealous, dude.
community.
That's the thing.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, because he was a UFC fighter. Then he was friends with
Yeah,
Rogan, so
yeah,
he got a jump start. Like he started
yeah.
doing
Right, right,
he started headlining in no time. When people
right,
doing comedy for 20 years, they were still.
right, right, right. Yeah,
It's like he's a businessman, dude. Like, I watch it. This fighter and the kid. This he has a part of Theo One. King and this thing used to have.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
now
yeah.
the
I
golden.
love that shit. To be
Yeah, dude,
honest, I watched that. Yeah,
yeah, and then now it's called the Golden Hour. It's with Eric.
yeah. Do you watch it?
It's with Eric Griffin. Dude, I watch
Right.
religious.
Really, you do? You
Yeah,
like it?
yeah.
Hmm.
And the
Huh.
Bobby Lee's podcast, Tiger Belly.
Bobby's funny guy, but to
Yeah.
me, after Theo Von left
Dude,
King and the
you heard the
Sting,
Bobby story? He got molested by a guy with Down syndrome
yeah,
for
sure, sure,
candy or something.
yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
Yeah, and then he did it again. Like he got molested the
really.
first time, and then he went again. He's like,
Yeah.
Why do you go again?" And like, he wanted it. He's yelling you a shit. He just put out his beaner.
So, what do you think about Sharp's stand up?
Me as I like him as he's a hustler. I think he's not funny. I can
Uh huh.
say he's
Yeah.
funny. He's funny in his podcast. He's funny. He's more funny in his pod. He's not.
I mean, we gotta give it to him for hustling.
It doesn't
Okay,
matter. He's a
cars,
Ferrari.
clothes,
Yeah, doesn't matter. He has good shoes, Ferrari. He has a Bangor wife.
sure.
He has a
Yeah.
fucking. He lives in the fucking hills. He doesn't have to give a fuck. He's gonna. But I can tell you, but he is a little. I
Tense.
can feel he interrupts a lot. Or everyone knows that.
Ah, really?
Oh fucker interrupts
Huh.
everyone, and he sometimes says some shit that's not even real.
Yeah,
And then
for sure.
I think there's some clips of him in the UFC. He got fucked, knocked the fuck out. Yeah,
After Rogan
yeah,
warned
yeah,
him,
yeah.
right?
And Rogan, yeah, had the talk.
You'd be surprised, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a hustler. He works every day, so he has his own whiskey, thick boy brand. I like, I fuck with him. I don't give a
Yeah,
shit
you
what.
do.
I mean, you can have another
Okay.
opinion, but yeah,
It was just for, how weird I mean, it's not real weird. It's kind of cool. But when you watch one video and you like it, and then YouTube advises you another video, and then you go on a whole rabbit hole.
exactly.
And all my YouTube feed right now is how shitty Brandon is.
Yeah,
And I gotta say, all right, he's a hustler for sure. Let's give it to him. But bro, those comedy specials are shitty,
yeah,
right?
yeah, they're bad. They're bad.
Daniel.
Brian Callen,
Yeah.
he's amazing too. Brian
Yeah.
Crystalia also. I like
Uh
Chris.
huh. Uh huh.
I mean, he has
What the fuck happened with Chris? Were those
he
allegations
got
against him
canceled.
real?
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
And he's become a better human now. He's got a kid. He's got another kid. He's funny
Oh,
as
really?
fuck, dude.
Yeah.
His bods. Congratulations. So
A
it's
lot of
like
comedians came out
his
against him.
life. It's like I used to watch his pod before the cancellation and after.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
I've seen him transform.
Really?
He
How long was he gone during that time?
2 years,
For
but
two
in that
years.
time he
Oh,
had a kid. Basically, he had walls around him. He didn't want to feel any emotions because he wanted to, he built up walls around him, and then that finally led the walls to come down. So now
what do you think? What do you say about that episode, the first episode after his pause? Was it honest and genuine
the
when he returned?
allegations. Yeah,
After
there
that,
was an apology video. Yes, I
yeah,
was that guy.
yeah.
You know.
Wow. And what was exactly he doing again? Messing with some
Uh,
underage chicks or
yeah,
something?
yeah. Like all he wanted was he wanted some pussy, I think, or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
slaying
yeah,
that dick, that digital
yeah,
dick left and right, right?
yeah, yeah. Like that was the live coffee chicks, and then now it's his son, other stuff. Yeah. So yeah, but he's funny as fuck. Life rips,
Do
you know
you
that, right? That's my
right?
philosophy.
Do you think the internet has messed up a lot of dudes?
Yeah, dude, the
Because
cancel culture.
previously, right? Like, nah, I don't even mean cancel culture. I mean fucking pussy on the internet. That's what I mean.
Oh yeah,
Like here's the successful dude running a podcast, being a comedian, run, and then fucking DMs on Instagram,
yeah,
and he was like, shit, right?
yeah. It's like he
Crazy.
needed that, to make him realize.
Yeah. So what were we talking before,
Oh,
Sharp?
Andrew Tate, dude. We were talking about
Tate, right?
well, he's in the house arrest,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, yeah, he was talking to a guy who was falsely accused, and he said, like, my wife is somebody put false allegations, like I still love her though, so it's
Really.
like see, people are like these are in prison, like like so he would do his shit in prison. He just fucking did 500 push-ups, like I said.
Does he release any podcast,
Oh
Tate?
yeah, it's called the
On
Emergency Podcast.
emergency podcast,
Emergency meeting
emergency
with
meeting
both
on
trains.
YouTube,
Used to be on YouTube. Now they cancelled them.
Rumble.
It's Rumble, yeah. Yeah.
So on Rumble, he regularly posts, right?
I don't know. He's not posted any latest. They took like,
Yeah.
I think he's trying
He
to get
got
his cars
poisoned.
back. They took his cars, dude. What the fuck? They
Yeah.
took the Bugatti,
Shit.
man. What the fuck? Can they take that Bugatti?
Now, you know what I must say about Tate? Undeniably, I want to say that he is. Now, let's be honest, we don't know whether it's for a fact, false allegation or not, right? So I just feel like we've got to be honest. But whether they were false or true, he's an important person just
Yeah.
for making a lot of guys wake the fuck up and being uncomfortable. He's a very uncomfortable internet personality. And sometimes, and I think the reason why he's so uncomfortable is actually it makes a lot of people hate him. Because some dudes will hate him,
Mostly
others be like,
chicks.
most, yeah, getting
He's-
jealous. But
they take him out of context and look, he's a
Yeah,
misogynist,
and it's so easy to
that,
take him out of
it's
context.
very easy.
You know, I love those videos when he's out of context. I love it. I know it's bullshit, but I just like it's funny sometimes
Yeah,
to watch. But he's made a lot of people wake up and act, and
yeah.
that's nice. That's fine. But I don't know what. There's probably no but.
It's like
I'm
you
yeah,
never met him in person, so you just know what
yeah,
he's shown on the internet.
right, right,
So
yeah.
you
Do you
never
think there
know.
is a big part of a character with him?
I mean, he's awakened a lot of boys, so
Yeah.
like, yeah. So like don't be suppressed by these fucking
But the problem, you know what the problem is? Those guys who had been awakened by him, sometimes they miss the spiritual part, like you,
yeah,
yeah, like me, you have.
yeah.
At least I want to believe I do have.
His
And they, yeah,
his is mostly hard work. He works out. He's a fucking kickboxing champion. Fucking, he worked hard. He wasn't rich when he was born. He was poor as fuck. He was eating uh, chicken out of leftover KFC buckets. Dude. He wasn't born rich or some shit. He worked hard for it, dude. Like, 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 you can't just say, okay, I'm awakened, I'm gonna kill it. No, you need hard work. Dude. You can't just say, okay, I'm awakened here. That's why due to psychedelics, some people want to change after the trip. Like, no, that's not how it is. You gotta work for it. You
I
can't
think the true change begins before you take them, right?
discipline. Like, it always says a discipline. Like, I'm gonna work out anyway. If I'm sad, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna work out.
Of
Doesn't matter.
course. Yeah, because those people who base their actions on fucking weather or emotions,
Yeah, exactly.
ridiculous.
It comes back to the same point. What stoicism? You can be
Yeah, yeah.
sad, yeah.
It's interesting how those ideas have been through a history of development in different shapes and forms, but they have been the same in the
Exactly.
core, right?
Yeah.
And what is Stoicism technically older than Christianity, right?
I
Because
think Christianity it's not a religion, it's a philosophy. Christianity is
yeah,
probably a religion,
yeah,
which I don't know, man. It
yeah.
doesn't
I
matter.
think somewhere a couple of years ago I was
Yeah,
doing a little bit of math calculating those years, and it's funny because yeah, how much evidence do we know of Jesus's existence?
yeah.
Zero to none. But when it comes to Marcus Aurelius era,
And
the
we killed him. We killed
diaries,
Jesus. Like, we killed him. Like,
for sure. No, but I mean, like, historical evidence of existence of
yeah,
a
but
figure like
people
that, right?
killed him. So fuck. We didn't want
How
him
could we kill
probably.
the only dude who turned
Yeah,
water into
you killed
wine?
him. Somebody was
Ridiculous.
different. You killed them. Like, that's what humans are. So it's we killed him. He could have helped us, but we decided the Romans.
So
It's
in
like
case with Tate, I'm sorry, I keep returning to Tate, but
no,
I
no, no,
think
I'm cool.
all those people who are awakened and suddenly became hustlers and grinders,
Yeah.
it's fine, it's good, it's amazing. I'm sure it will turn their lives. But imagine, but would you also agree that if a 16 years old clunky motherfucker discovers Tate, potentially, I'm not saying definitely, potentially that could
Yeah.
do him a bit of wrong, right?
Yes. It's again 16-year-old. Uh, it all depends on like what is he trying to get out of it or some shit. Like I mean, again, I can only say how I feel about it. I can't speak for
Right, right,
anyone
right,
else.
right. Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think you would have been if you had discovered Tate when you were 16, for example?
Uh, I yeah, but I would get enlightened. I
Yeah.
probably try to get some pussy or some shit.
Yeah. Right, right,
Try to
right.
like be a kind of like a say bitch a lot or something.
Right, 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 right.
Or
Yeah.
here
I
misogynist.
started saying bitch a
I
lot
didn't know what
after I
misogynist
discovered
was.
rap. Yeah,
Like,
sure. For sure.
misogynist? What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
Like, oh
yeah,
shit, okay,
right.
that's what it means. I mean, 16. When I'm 16, like I was studying. You don't have money, so you kind of shit.
The way I say about that, I say if I had discovered Tate earlier, my life either would have been totally better, because, or totally worse.
Yeah,
And I don't know which way. Maybe I would have gone the wrong way, right?
yeah. It's like your brain's not mature enough to understand what it's saying.
Oh,
When
yeah,
you're
yeah, for
16,
sure. For
you're
sure.
just stacking off in your room, thinking about Tate or some shit.
For sure. Yeah, what the fuck are those 16 years old
You
even thinking
probably,
about?
stand up to bullies if somebody's getting bullied. If Andrew Tate was there on 16. But I never bully, but I would be like, stand up, motherfucker, like beat him up.
Right, right, right. You would have been braver, right?
Yeah, a
Would
little
have been,
braver. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Just embrace whatever I
Do
am.
you think people, what is, do you think the reason why people tend to create idols for themselves?
Because they don't know who they are. Basically, sometimes. Like, idol, you can have an idol, like if you're being good, if you, somebody, you just need some kind of hope, dude. When you're confused, you need someone to look up to, so that okay, cool,
Definitely, yeah.
he failed, he made it, I
Right,
can make it.
right,
That can be an idol, basically.
yeah.
Like anyone you can relate your life story with, he killed it, I can still kill it, like,
Right, right, right. Yeah, if it's
yeah,
humanly possible, it's one
yeah,
of those best
yeah,
things that Aurelia said. If it's
yeah,
if one person did, it's humanly possible, right?
yeah, yeah. It's like you achieve success later in life. You don't have to achieve. Like some people achieve 30s, 40s. You don't have to have it all.
Do you apply any practices of Stoicism? Do you
Yeah,
practice any?
yeah, I do
Yeah,
every day,
yeah.
every situation. It's now it's subconsciously applying. It's like you don't have to react. Just
Do you journal?
I used to journal, but then
Yeah,
I'm a lazy motherfucker.
yeah.
I have notes. But it's like I'm not saying I'm deep into it, but it's helping me. I'm not saying I
Right.
am the god of stoicism. I know everything.
Sure, sure. Yeah,
It's helped me. That's all. Yeah,
that's good.
that's all. It is.
What do you think is the reason why Stoicism has been gaining popularity this last 5 years? Probably. Would you agree
Because
that it's?
they kind of have ways to deal with situations. So
Yeah.
it's like it's something that you can apply. It's like I think there's more suffering these days. That's why people are, you know, it's like, oh shit, what do I do? Like, how do I not ruin my life? How can stoicism help me? Or something like
And it's also like a safe option between religious, because religions sometimes appear very
that.
radical,
Yeah,
right? And philosophy is a safe option.
yeah, yeah. They can be religious and stoic, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They can do whatever the fuck.
I've been playing with the idea that the reason why people tend to create idols is because they don't have God. And that sounds super religious, obviously, right?
Yeah,
But there's probably something to it, right?
yeah, yeah. Let them believe that.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
right,
I'm not saying no. It's a perception. Cool. I'm not gonna
right.
say I don't believe that. You believe whatever you want. Doesn't matter, man. It's another principle. Like it's a
Yeah.
perception. Dude. You never know.
Everything's about perception.
Yeah. It's again subjective. Everything is subjective.
Yeah, surely, surely.
You?
So, you say you've not been missing Theo Vaughn's episodes, right? Listen to his
No. I
podcast.
watched all this, but I just
Yeah,
rewatched stuff.
really.
He's not doing. He's doing his pod. It's called the past weekend.
Yep,
That's
yep.
his pod. So you want? He used to be in King of this thing. Now it's just the golden hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Thick
So you
boy
watch that,
network.
right?
Yeah, it's Eric
Yeah,
Griffin,
yeah, you're
Chris
into that,
D'Elia, Bench.
right?
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. Did you watch Kill Tony?
Oh man, I don't think I
You
do. I
gotta
do
watch
know a
that.
lot. Is it good?
It's good.
Yeah,
It's dark as it
really.
gets.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogan is very complimentary of Tony.
Yeah.
What's his surname?
It's
Hinchcliffe.
now recorded in Rogan's new club
Uh huh.
in
Uh huh.
Austin. It's called the Mothership.
Man, I'd like to be there. That would be amazing to visit it, right? Like all of those
Yeah, like
guys.
people know him as a fighter. He's a
Yeah,
comedian first.
yeah.
Like he's been doing comedy for 30 years.
Right, right,
Then
right.
he's the five fear factor guy. Then he's into mixed
Yeah,
martial art. Then he's the
right,
commentator.
right.
He's a comedian.
Who is he for you, first and foremost? How do you regard him mostly as a comedian, first of all?
Uh, I regard him as it's like he's one curious motherfucker.
Yeah,
Rogan.
right.
He wants to know everything. He doesn't ask. He wants people to tell him what they know. He's just curious about everything. He's the DMT guy. DMT. So he's like, yeah, it's like his pod is like news to me. It can be, some things that you cannot say in the news. It's basically written. He calls a lot of scientists and stuff.
But don't you notice that lately, at least, his guests tend to be of too much on the same
I
page with
stopped
him? And
watching
I kind of,
PRE. I stopped watching. I don't
yeah,
watch PRE anymore. I used to like
yeah,
it. If it's an interesting guy, yeah, like Neil deGrasse
Yeah,
Tyson, that guy,
yeah,
amazing guy. He
yeah,
makes space sound so fucking good, you know.
yeah. Right, 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 right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Neil has been very interrupty, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that last appearance,
Mhm.
bro. That I wasn't watching, I was listening, but I was like, man, sooner or later Rogan will flip, because it's
Yeah.
like there was no sentence by Rogan that wasn't interrupted by Neil.
The one with Alex Jones, how can you forget Alex
Oh,
Jones, dude?
classic.
And then
Man, 911. Holy
the
shit.
one with
911 was the episode that introduced to me extra dimensional, or how do
yeah.
you call that?
So basically, he Alex Jones knew a lot of secrets going on in the government, basically.
Listen, now that I'm thinking, I think the ultimate moment from Rogan for me is when Rogan goes a little bit silent and he whispers, "Tell me, Alex, are there aliens?" And I was like, I dropped everything I was doing. I was like listening so carefully. That was
Yeah.
probably the ultimate moment for me.
This is one more moment. He says, "Look, Rogan, I'm kind of retarded. You've seen that,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Right, right.
dude?"
That's like Andrew Tate's one of the first appearances on Your Mom's House
Yeah, yeah,
podcast,
yeah,
right? Remember how she
yeah,
goes
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Okay, let's." So I'm a retard. What? How did you? I'm a stupid bitch. She said, right? How
Yeah,
do I become better?
yeah, that's the shit.
So I miss that era of Rogan. I miss when he had chat.
Yeah,
I
like
love the most when
Ryan
Rogan
Hancock.
argues with somebody.
Ryan Hancock, good historians, archaeologists.
Right, sure.
Brian
Yeah.
Hancock, he has this Netflix series called Ancient Apocalypse, where
Civilization.
they talk about
Ah, right, right.
civilization apocalypse.
I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's like he goes against the archaeologists and he kind of dates all the civilizations in the right manner. Like
That was this other dude, this old dude. They were on, with Hancock together on Rogan.
Ben
That
Van,
Rogan,
historian,
huh?
Ben Van,
Yeah.
something like that.
Now they were also talking about this younger, drier impact or shit like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, and they kind of fell out with Rogan a little bit. Yeah. So, I need debate on Rogan. That's what I feel like I want. I need heated arguments, and he just doesn't have those anymore,
Yeah,
right? I wish he did. Really wish he did.
I
I
mean,
just miss that kind of
that
shit.
rep for the racism card on him it didn't work out. You
Uh
know,
huh. No.
like, dude, like
Sure.
they bring up videos that were recorded a long time ago. Like
Right.
they
Right.
bring it up now. All these
Yeah.
allegations, like, why didn't you say something at that time? Why are you saying it now? Because he's rich.
Yeah.
Now you can fucking sue him and get money.
Yeah. 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 Because everybody wanted that piece,
Yeah.
right? Everybody
Why didn't
wanted
you
a piece of
react?
Rogan.
Why didn't you feel molested that time? Whatever it is, why are you coming up now? It's because you want just some money. You want some clout.
Well, we also have to do our best, have to strive to be objective in regarding Rogan. Sometimes he says some bullshit. I feel like
Yeah.
we all do, though,
He's not
right?
figure out stuff. He doesn't know. You know.
Yeah, sometimes he speaks about shit and he's too defensive of shit that he believes. So, I mean, we're all humans
Oh,
at the
yeah,
end of the
he's
day.
a straightforward motherfucker. He,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, kudos to him for doing what he's done,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
In terms of the impact, unbelievable for sure. Yeah. Well, listen, let's wrap this bitch up. It's
Oh yeah,
been
oh yeah,
an honor and
oh yeah,
privilege. Well, I'm happy that we finally done it.
oh
I
yeah,
feel like it's not the last time, right?
yeah. This is
I feel like as soon as we've got a good info reason, when one of our boys, whether it's fucking Vaughn or Delia,
yeah,
if they do some wild shit, we will get back to discuss it.
yeah, for sure, man. Peace.